Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the November 14th Lebanon City Council meeting. Our first order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll move on to the roll call members. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Mike Kincaid.
Present.
Keith Campbell.
Here.
Morris Jones.
Here.
Dick Robertson.
Here.
John Copeland.
Here.
Brent Wheat.
Present.
Sierra Messenger.
Excused. All right, next we'll move on to the approval of the minutes from our previous meeting. Are there any changes to the minutes?
One minor typo. I believe it indicates Councilman Messenger was here, and I don't think she was she?
I don't think so.
She wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But right here, she was absent. So then,
Oh,
where are you?
I missed that line. You are correct.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I was looking at the top.
Maybe I put her down as,
Reading comprehension,
like
catch it.
motion, that she made a motion or something.
So minutes are good?
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, minutes are approved. Before we kick off tonight, we do have Boone County Council President Elise Nashali with here tonight. Elise, if you want to say a few words to the council?
Greetings from the Boone County Council. Just wanted to come here tonight and express our sincerest appreciation to you all from the whole county for the collaboration on several infrastructure projects, including the Witt Road Bridge as well as the Elmwood Bridge. Those were classified prior to work being done as culverts, and they were your alls, and now you are replacing them to be under the category of bridge, so longer than 20 feet. And so once they are completed, they will enter into the county's inventory, and we will be responsible for funding their maintenance in perpetuity. So we are happy to take on that responsibility and thankful for the great investment that you all have put into those bridges along with the state's funding through the Community Crossings Grant. Also, just newly underway our discussions about the roundabout at 400 East and 100 South. And so Nick Parr, the director of our highway department, and Kevin Krulik, thank you for the great partnership that the two of you have in accomplishing so many good things for the citizens of Boone County. And then in addition, you all have submitted recommendations that are very similar to ours for the new interchange that will be going in at 300 North. So just wanted to highlight the great collaboration that's occurring between the county and the city of Lebanon, and again, express our greatest thanks to you all.
Thank you, Elise.
Thank you. Good to be with you tonight.
Any questions or comments for Councilwoman Elise?
Nope. Keep up the good work.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Elise.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Okay, we'll move on to old business. There's nothing on my agenda. Is there anything from council?
No, sir.
Okay, new business then. First item up is a food and beverage request from Black Box Theater. We have Tricia Keene and Christina Strauss. Is that correct?
There is a change. I'm
Oh.
Emily Wolfgang.
Oh, sorry. Okay,
That's
thank you.
okay. Christina couldn't come. She had another
I'm only as good as my agenda. My agenda was incorrect, so I'm very sorry.
Okay, I don't know that we changed on it.
So Emily is passing out what we are asking, and Emily is our artistic director at Black Box. She started Black Box in the Lebanon community back in 2012. We became a nonprofit in 2015. That was kind of always the goal, and so we have been doing that for about 7 years. We are located out in the business area across from the Holiday Inn Express is where we're at. We do several shows throughout the community. We just had one in September at the United Methodist Church because our space isn't large enough. We have about 250 people that came to that show each night, and then we do one every year at the high school in June. And that about 400 to 450 come into our community. We have about 200 kids that come through our doors every year, and about 80% of them are within Lebanon. So what we wanted to talk about tonight was we do a winter show, and last year we had about 15 to 16 kids. This year we doubled in size. So when they came out for the auditions, we determined that we really didn't want to turn any of them away. We want them to have a space to be able to create and to be able to have camaraderie and to hear ideas and so on. So we decided to have another show. So we have 2 winter shows going on, and that was not in our little nonprofit budget. So we are asking that you would help fund. We needed extra scripts, we needed extra rights, we needed extra costuming. And this show will also, both of these shows are 7 shows. They're mid-December, and they will bring in every night 60 to 70 people. A lot of people that come to our shows, they do dinner in town. When it's the summer show, they do ice cream, and so they're spending a lot of money within the community. So we'd just like to ask that you would be willing to support that. Does anybody have any questions along that line?
Ma'am.
John Turner, you're the food and beverage chairman.
Christina and Teresa met with the Food and Beverage Committee on November 1st. Some of the things that they brought us, what she talked about this evening, they have strong growth the last 4 to 5 years. The age group of the kids that they're looking at goes anywhere from 4 to 18 years of age. I've attended some of the programs. It's very impressive that they get everybody involved from that age group all the way up to the 18. It was very entertaining when I went to the last show. They are a nonprofit, a 501c3, and they made a very positive presentation to the Food and Beverage Committee, and we'd like to make a recommendation to the full council this evening.
What's the amount requested?
Would you like to make a recommendation?
Yes, I'd like to make a recommendation, full amount of $1,500 for this.
I'll second that.
Hold on, I know that's not quite a motion yet. Is there any other questions or discussions for?
What, you sell tickets to the events or what?
Yes, we do. Now, our camps and so on that we do in the summer, a lot of times those are just free things, but when we do our shows, that's part of what helps pay for everything that goes into the show. So yes, we do generally sell tickets for those.
And how much are those?
Could be $10, could be $0 if you're 5 or under, or it could be $15 if you're like my age. So students are 10, so.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay. Morris, would you like to make a motion then?
I'd like to make a motion that we pay the $1,500 from the food and beverage to support this. Black Box.
1,500.
We have a motion for 1,500. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All fair say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? As approved. And do you want to give one last plug of when the shows are going to be this year?
Yes, we will be doing them June 1st through the 4th. That's our big spring show. That's going to be Wizard of Oz. A Christmas Carol, we're doing 2 different types. That's December 14th through the 18th. And then we'll do another show in September next year, and we're not sure what that one will be yet. But.
We will be at the Rotunda performing at the Christmas celebration, so you'll
Yes.
see us out there.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Girls, Tricia or Emily, if you'll send a letter of request to our office, then we'll get the check written to you. Okay? Thanks.
Okay, next item up is next is Resolution 2022-27, additional appropriation request for the Lebanon Fire Department. Chief Batts.
Worthwhile.
Good evening, everyone. What you have before you is an additional appropriation request in the amount of $17,000. Over the course of 2022, Station 11, that is our headquarters station, has suffered essentially catastrophic failure of its HVAC system and drained our line for Station 11. So we are asking for those funds to help recoup the cost of our HVAC repairs and replacement.
Questions for Chief from the council?
No, sir.
Okay. Tanya, can you, excuse me, there's a public hearing I'll have you read it, and I'll do the public hearing, so, yeah, go ahead.
Resolution 2022-27, the city is duly formed municipal corporation within the state of Indiana, council to maintain fiscal integrity of the finances, At times, it becomes necessary to appropriate additional funds within the approved budget. It has been determined that now it's necessary to appropriate more money than was originally appropriated in the annual budget. All additional appropriations require a public hearing, of which council has served proper notice in accordance with Indiana Code 53-1. Therefore, be it resolved, Resolution 2022-27 to appropriate funds to LFD Station 11 operating expenses from Fund 101, the general fund, in the amount of $17,000.
Resolution has been read. At this time, I'll open the floor for public hearing. If you have any public comment, please step forward. State your name for the record. Okay. Seeing no sudden movements, I will close the public hearing on Resolution 2022-27. Council discussion.
Just quick question, why, could the money come from the lit fund?
The challenge with that is the line that they used for their building maintenance is in COIT and not in lit.
Okay.
So that's kind of the,
It's in the general fund.
yeah, we'd have to like create another, there's no line for station maintenance in the lit budget.
Thank you.
Yep. Any questions? This time then I would entertain a motion concerning Resolution 2022-27.
I move we approve Resolution 2022-27.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Mike. Let's first say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, that is approved. Thank you, council. All right, next up, thank you, chief.
Thanks.
Next up is a memorandum of understanding for the price for legal drain construction, Boone County and Lebanon. Kevin Krulik.
Thank you. Well, it was fortunate that Council President Nishala was here tonight. We're talking about another opportunity that we have to cooperate and work with our friends at the county. This time before you is a memorandum of understanding between the city and the County Drainage Board regarding the reconstruction of the Price Legal Drain. So if you were here or were watching the RDC meeting, we discussed this. I've been discussing this in my Board of Works reports for a number of weeks, but we are looking at our citywide regional detention and conveyance system and providing an outlet for the area, what I like to call the Enterprise Drive area. So that whole area between 39 and 65, kind of in that quadrant where 39 and 65 meet, where the field house is included, but the field house only takes up about 90 acres. There's roughly 1,000 acres there that drains through an existing legal drain tile, the Price Legal Drain, that goes underneath underneath State Road 39, underneath the railroad tracks. That is woefully undersized for the development that we are forecasting in that area. So the reason we needed to do this MOU is because the legal drain is under state right-of-way and under CSX right-of-way. The state has legislation in place that will require the State Department of Transportation and the railroad companies to participate in the reconstruction of legal drains. So this is why there is this MOU whereby the County Drainage Board and the City of Lebanon are entering into this memorandum of understanding, so whereby the city is reconstructing the legal drain for the County Drainage Board. That makes the project then eligible for 100% reimbursement for any of the infrastructure that goes in under the railroad right-of-way, and 50% reimbursement for anything that goes in under the right-of-way of the Indiana Department of Transportation. We are funding this project because it is part of our regional detention and conveyance system, and it provides the stormwater outlets, the utility capacity, if you will, for the expansion of Enterprise Drive, which includes the Fieldhouse project, other projects that are currently in various stages of planning. So before you tonight, for your consideration, and per my recommendation, is a memorandum of understanding between the County Drainage Board and the City of Lebanon for the reconstruction of the Price Legal Drain. Happy to answer any questions that you might have on this issue.
Any questions for council for Kevin on this?
No, sir.
What's the current size of the outlet?
I believe it's a 24-inch pipe. To put it in perspective, we have to upgrade that to a 54-inch pipe.
Okay.
So it's a pretty significant upgrade to be able to accommodate the development we're going to see in that roughly 1,000-acre basin upstream.
And how much of fall is there over that area?
I joke that there's only like 4 foot of fall across that entire 1,000 acres. I would have to look at it to tell you.
Okay.
It's very flat.
Okay,
You can see
So I thought it
across.
was like 4 inches, so okay, so 4 feet's a little bit better, I guess, so, okay. Any other questions or comments from Kevin concerning the MOU?
No, sir.
Okay, at this time then, I would entertain a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding with the Boone County Drainage Board
Yes.
and concerning the Price Legal Drain reconstruction.
I make a motion, we approve the memorandum of understanding for the Price Legal Drain Construction.
Motion to approve, is there a second?
Second.
Second from John. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? That is approved. Thank you, council.
Thank you.
Kevin. Okay, next up, this is a late addition to the agenda, and I apologize for the lateness to the council, but again, this is an ordinance, it'll be on first reading, so again, no action tonight being taken. We've talked for quite some time, including back to budget sessions and really at the beginning of the year, about reestablishing the city court. For those not familiar, we had a city court, actually found an ordinance from 1978 that was actually reauthorizing the city court to operate for another 4 years back then, but we essentially abolished it in 2013, and so we've been operating without one ever since, and this obviously has now started to cause some challenges from an enforcement of our ordinances, of city ordinances, essentially. So what we've talked about tonight is reestablishing the city court. The way the state statute works, though, is that you have to adopt it the year before any municipal elections. So we do have to adopt this ordinance before the end of this year, it's being 2022. Obviously, elections will be in 2023, and then the court would then take effect in January 1 of 2024, right? So it's just part of allow them to elect the judge and go through that process. So, and we've obviously got some kind of bigger issues hanging out there the rest of the year, rest of this year, including annexation, some council redistricting, things like that. I at least want to have the first reading on this. As you have all seen, it's a very simple, straightforward ordinance. But if you have any questions, concerns, we obviously can address those as we go forward too. So with that, any general discussion before I have Yogi read the ordinance? Okay, do you mind reading it for me, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance 2022-32, an ordinance reestablishing the judicial branch of the City of Lebanon, Indiana. Whereas the City of Lebanon is a duly formed municipal corporation within the state of Indiana, governed by its duly elected mayor and common council. Whereas the city previously established a city court under Indiana law prior to 1978. Whereas the city abolished the city court in 2013 by the adoption of ordinance 2013-16. Whereas the city desires to reestablish a city court which will enable the city officials to effectively respond to the needs of its citizens. And now therefore be it ordained by the Common Council, City of Lebanon, Boone County, Indiana, as follows. Section 1. The foregoing recitals are incorporated herein. Section 2. There is hereby established a City Court of Lebanon pursuant to Indiana Code Section 33-35-1-1 to be headed and operated by a city judge elected and seated pursuant to Indiana Code Article 3-10. Section 3. Ordinance 2013-16 is hereby repealed, and all other ordinances or provisions thereof not specifically changed shall remain in full force and effect. Section 4. If any portion of this ordinance is for any reason declared to be unconstitutional or invalid, such decision shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of this ordinance so long as enforcement of the same can be given the same effect. Section 5, this ordinance is and shall be effective as of the date of passage and upon notice provided pursuant to Indiana law.
Thank you, Yogi. As you can see, pretty straightforward. Any further questions now from council now the ordinance has been read?
No, sir.
Okay. Any public comment concerning ordinance 2022-32? Okay. With that then, ordinance 2022-32 has been read on first reading. Unless there's any final thoughts from council? Okay, seeing none. That concludes what I have for new business. Is there anything from council?
Nothing from me.
Okay, we'll move on to claims then, and I would entertain a motion concerning the claims.
Make a motion to pay the claims.
We We have a motion to pay the claims. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Morris. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Claims are approved. Any announcements or discussion? Any general public comment? Okay. We'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from John. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, our next city council meeting will be Monday, November 28th at 7:15 PM. We are adjourned. Have a great evening.